Okay, we're on to the cross guild offering. 103 litters is where we're going to start. Lots 29 and 30, sired by Next to Nothing. As I've talked about, the Next to Nothing deal has been so good for us, and this is actually a bred gilt purchase from our good buddies in Illinois, Stolquist Show Pigs. We bought a couple bred gilts from them this season, and this was one that we thought was a must-have and a building block. She is actually a litter mate to the Everhart Barra that was Grand Overall at Expo last year, so no comparison, nothing to hide the way that the sow's pedigree reads, and I think a building block, kind of a female that had a tremendous litter mate brother. Next to Nothing on No Comparison, I think works. It makes sense, and darn sure proud of this pair of gilts. Littermate gilt that sold in our last sale was a little more ready. We decided to put her in there. She was accepted extremely well and sold well, but in terms of quality, we like all three of these gilts quite a bit, and different in their types and kinds. Lot 29 is where we're going to start with this this black gilt that comes with the free tanning membership, or no, darn sure should, because she's pretty pale, but to get past that, she's a gilt that that will get dark. She looks like she's got the pigmentation, the extra hair, and the darkness that she'll get dark and get good. But I think a gilt that, in terms of quality, she's market breeding. She's pretty good. I think look, design, squareness to her chest and her hind legs good. She offers some shape and dimension, and one that's a very attractive, sound-footed kind of a package. And as I said earlier, she's versatile. If you got a market, you got a breeding show, you got resale value on that gilt from her pedigree alone. But in terms of quality, I think this gilt's awfully good. And to make a black sow, I think they work. We've got some there working in Three's Company, and a few here that sure have generated, and not worried about that, because she's one that, in terms of quality of a show gilt, should give them all they want, but a lot of sow power back the way. The lot 30 is going to be next, the 1037 gilt. This gilt's probably one of the biggest ones in the sale, but decided to offer her in terms of when she's ready. But she's one that looks like an incredibly kind of a breeding gilt that's sound. She's flexible. She's heavy skeleton, big centered. Really, really good about her set and angulation up front and her flexibility out of her hind leg. Got that Next to Nothing just dimension, and I think one that's just going to keep coming with power and muscle, and I think a great combination, kind of a gilt that's going to be a powerhouse in terms of breeding gilt on down the way, and she's going to last into August without any kind of question and be a big burly one. She's got enough stretch to her in terms of length of side and frame to get to heavier weights, and that'll work to her advantage. But in terms of sow power, like her sister, I'd like to breed ones like this because they're loose, they're flexible, they're heavy duty, and they've got some of the extras that it takes to generate.